So um, this is a piece of art journaling that I did, but it's a big piece, and I used rice paper and kind of patched it together like a quilt.
How big is
And
it?
it's big. It's probably uh, eight. Let's see, 12 by 18, maybe bigger.
That's big.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. On Monday, we worked with the directions and the time of day. Today, I thought we'd work with directions and the time of year. And then next Wednesday is the superflower blood moon lunar eclipse. And we're not going to be live and in person, but I'm going to record something that day and post it on the YouTube channel, and I'll email it to the regulars because we'll use the directions and the cycle of the month and the moons. It's harder to map it to the directions, but working with some time stuff here. Just I've been really feeling time, how slowly it moves sometimes, how fast it moves others. But the natural world tells time. And so that's what we're going to focus on today, the cycle of the year. So do whatever you like to do with your eyes. And take a few deep breaths and let that out breath really move you down into your body. And if it makes sense, let the focus drop from the mind down into the heart, down into the base of the spine. And from there, imagine a cord from the base of your spine dropping down into the earth. However that cord looks or feels today. Roots, rope, thread, light. Might be a big auger drilling down into the earth. If you're floating away, you might need an auger. So just really feel yourself noticing the earth, its stillness, its stability. You might even just feel yourself, boom, anchored a bit. Imagine beneath the soil, all the little burrows. Beneath that, water sources, all the layers of the earth. And invite earth energy now to rise up through the grounding cord and enter the base of your spine, and just let it move up and down your spine. You might even feel yourself sitting up a little straighter. And let that earth energy move with its nurturing power into any of the aches and pains and cricks and cracks. And let it settle in your heart and shine brightly out, and just begin to watch that energy bubble fill up, filled with earth energy coursing through you, filling your inner energy body or bubble. And sometimes our energy bubbles feel a little cracked, or they might have little slits in them, and we let our energy leak out. That's okay. Just you could even imagine using your hands to sort of close any openings in your energy body here, so you're just completely immersed. as your body is shining brightly with light, radiating out 3 feet all around you. Those little cracks or openings in our energy body can be ways that our own energy drains out, like escapes a little bit. And it can also be a way that other people's energy gets inside of us. We've all had that. Both of those things happen, usually because of things that go on in our relationships. So when we close the bubble, it doesn't mean we're keeping others completely out or detaching from them. We're just creating some space so we can find our true selves. And then draw our attention to the tops of our heads and the top of our bubble about 3 feet above us, and invite sky energy down through the tops of our bubbles into the tops of our heads, and let it move all the way up and down our spines. Could be sun, star, moon energy, air, could be divine, universal, life force energy, however you want to feel it. Let it come down and fill your bubble even brighter. As we are grounded and connected to all that is. And then we'll just center in our hearts. So feel all of that energy radiating out from our hearts. And begin to get ready to leave for a little journey. You might pack up an offering or two for the natural world, some water or some sugar, and begin to leave your house or your place where you are right now, and find yourself walking toward and finding a dirt road. Let your feet crunch on that road. And then you find a path. You notice a little path off to one side or the other, with a cairn probably marking the trail, a stack of rocks. And so feel the forest inviting you in. And notice the shift in texture beneath your feet as you shift from that gravel road to the softer soil of the forest floor. And begin to use your sense of smell to take in the scent of the forest. Maybe the crushed leaves, the composting vegetation, the pine needles. And using your sense of sight, notice the trees all around you, what stage of life they're in. You may stop along the way and touch one of the trees or the vegetation, just giving thanks, using your sense of touch. You may hear birds singing and chirping, or the breeze blowing through leaves, creating a sound, a melody. And eventually we continue to walk, we're noticing the angle of the sun this time of day, late afternoon, almost evening. For those of us who are live, just notice the time of day for you, and then notice that you've come to a clearing. And let this circle of trees that's there welcome you in, like an old home, almost like a grandmother's home or some place you've been many times before. Feel its familiarity and its newness because of the time of year. And notice a tree that may be calling to you, inviting you to come lean against it. And greet that tree with reverence and respect, and you might give it a little bit of an offering, whatever you've brought with you. You might touch its bark and look up into its branches and see its height. And then just turn around and lean against it and feel your grounding cord connecting with this tree's roots. And while you're leaning here, just get a sense of the circle. And without thinking with your mind, just instinctively let your body tell you what direction is east. And when you're ready, step away from the tree and face the east. Working with the rhythm of the year, the east is the time of the spring equinox in March. And so just face the east, and you might feel just the rhythm of the year by thinking, gosh, that was almost 2 months ago. The element of air is usually associated with the east. It's a time of year when a lot of people experience a big vision as the new planting begins and hopes for crops get imagined. So we give thanks to the east and the time of year, spring equinox. And then just feel yourself turning to your right a little bit, down into the southeast. You might just look out into the forest and see what you notice there. This is the time of Beltane, May 1st, which we celebrated in this meditation group recently. It was a time in the indigenous cultures of Europe, at least, of mating, relationships, and jumping over fires. Native peoples of all locations lived with the rhythms of the year. They could feel it in their bodies. They could tell it by their crops, by their livestock. So we honor that time of year. And really, it is the time we're in now. As you turn to the south, we're right in this area between Beltane and summer solstice. And in the summer, just like during the day when the sun is at its highest, we associated that with the south. So feeling the circle of the year this time, the summer, the warmest time of year. Fire is the element in the south. So we give thanks for that time of year and just feel it as we move toward it. As chaotic as our lives have felt, and as much of a time warp that we've been in with COVID, just feeling the natural world reminding us where we are in this circle, this wheel. If we turn to the southwest, then the time is harvest time. Some of the European traditions, it's called Lunasa, August 1st. In our own gardens, we're harvesting. We can hardly keep up with the zucchini by August 1st. The farmers' markets are in full force, full bloom. Just feel that in your body. Turning to the west, then, in the circle of the year is the autumn equinox, September 21st. The element in the west is usually water, but just feeling the coming on of the change of the season. So often in fall, we really start to feel it when the leaves change. So you're in this circle of trees, and you're going to turn to your right again to November 1st, which is Halloween, Samhain, All Saints' Day. There's a lot of names for this time of year when the veil is thin between this world and the ancestors. The nights are longer and people start to hunker down. And we turn to our right again, and it's winter. Winter solstice, December 21st. The earth reminds us that the nights are long, long, long. The light will come again, but this is a time of incubation. The element of earth is often associated with the north. It's a time of groundedness and cocooning. And then we turn to our right again, and it's what we wish were really the beginning of spring, and it usually is not, at least in Colorado where we are. February 1st, Imbolc, but there are signs. Sometimes the crocus begin to blossom, and certainly in the old days and on farms, the lambs are being born. And then we arrive back in the east to the spring equinox, the time of new beginnings, new blossoms. And just settle in now that we've gone around the wheel and you've circled your circle of trees. Find yourself right there between Beltane, May 1st and June 21st. And just feel a sense of grounding. You may turn and look southeast in the forest where you are to give thanks for this time of year. To give thanks for the earth and the sky, the plants, the animals, and all the ways the natural world continues to move in the rhythm of time. And if you've got any burdens that have been weighing on you, you can just place them in the center of the circle of trees here and let the earth just let them melt down into it. Let the earth take them. And then offer the earth some gratitude. And begin to find your way back to the path. Turning one more time to say thank you to the forest circle of trees, the directions and the seasons. And then gently walk along that path, leading the way you came in. Until you transition from the path to the road. And from the road back to where you are. In the room where you sit, on the chair, or the couch, or wherever you are. Feel that grounding cord again. Feel your energy bubble still bright and full. And when you're ready, wiggle your toes, your fingers, and open the window shades of your eyes.